Oregon's Department of Fish and Wildlife was predicting a $30 million budget deficit, but hunters and fishermen in Oregon will be picking up a big chunk of the slack with rising license fees.
We want to know how the agency wound up in such a big budget hole. KOIN 6 investigator Carla Castano is following the money.
The Alaska Sunrise, part of a three-generation business out here on the Oregon coast.
Out in the ocean, we've got lots of fish.
Thank you.
Sharing the fun of a fresh catch with other families.
Thank you.
Doesn't just help them, though.
Forward. We have deckhands that work for us, our captains that work for us. They will all make less money because less people coming. The fish flayers and the crab cookers, the hotels, the restaurants.
They tell me staying afloat with the state's current fees isn't easy.
When our price comes out at $27.50 for a fishing license and a shellfish license, that's, almost 3 times as much in licenses than you would be paying in Washington.
The mother-daughter team testified in legislative hearings, and there were some concessions. Still, come January, the price to hunt or fish in Oregon will increase. In the next 2 years, the fees are going up $8,841,000. Between 2017 and 19, more than $16,461,000. ODFW hired a consulting firm. They estimate about 9,000 fewer people will buy fishing licenses due to the cost bump, and about 3,500 fewer hunters.
They're going to take honest people and make outlaws out of us.
A deer tag is going from $54 to $58 in 2016. For salmon next year, it'll be $73 from $59, and by 2020, it will cost you $90.
They're missing the boat.
These sportsmen I talked with say they usually buy a variety of tags, permits, and licenses. They tell me it adds up quickly, and prices have gotten out of control, into the hundreds just to pay the state fees for a family to enjoy activities that Oregon is known for.
I want them to know that we're fed up with it, and if you can't manage our game, then find somebody else that can.
Representative Wayne Krieger isn't surprised by the outrage.
So are working class families being priced out of hunting and fishing in Oregon?
I'm concerned that we are getting close to that right now. We think we're there.
Rep. Krieger tells me the budget problem has been brewing.
So you think they should have seen this coming?
I think they saw it coming, but it didn't alarm them enough. In other words, they didn't take an action to accommodate that change, which was a decrease in participation in hunting and angling.
Here's what I found looking over the agency's budget. Even as the number of fishing and hunting licenses has been declining, ODFW has become increasingly dependent on those fees to support the department.
What do you say to those hunters and anglers who feel like they're bearing the brunt of this burden?
Well, in fact, there is truth to that. When you look at the agency budget and the way fee dollars get spent.
I also found the programs have expanded to the point where ODFW biologists estimate they are spending up to 80% of their time doing consulting work for other agencies without billing for that time. I asked for a list of the work done or log of hours, but until now, no one thought to even track it.
They do that consultation for the purpose of making sure that whatever project they're looking at doesn't have an adverse effect to the environment and fish and wildlife habitat and values. But nobody from those agencies pays it. The hunter and fisher are paying it.
The Nature Conservancy of Oregon, a nonprofit, got behind a set of bills hoping to get ODFW on track.
How do we diversify and stabilize the funding for this agency into the future? We knew that was important.
The legislature also gave the agency a 71% increase in general fund money over the last biennium.
As we move forward, though, we essentially almost doubled the general fund support in this current budget, which is lowering that burden on hunters.
But they're also getting fee increases for licenses at this point.
Sure. Yep.
A task force is being created to secure funding for ODFW outside of fees for hunting and fishing now that the ship has clearly sailed. as people hang on to what they love, also knowing a hit is coming.
How much of that is our people, I don't know, but it will be some percentage.
In Garibaldi, Carla Castano, KOIN 6 News.
And Carla tells us there was a reduction in the price for youth passes to try to get more people to buy them.
But when ODFW did that, they also lowered the fishing age requirement from 14 to 12, meaning for some families, it will now cost more.